Hey, welcome back to Bobb-z Callahan's Word of Advice. And for today's video, I wanted to talk about the topic of temptation. You know, those times when people are really urging us to do something, whether it's good or bad, or whether it's those times where it may not even be the cause of people, but we are feeling tempted to do something. And usually, when it comes to temptation, well, in the way I'm going to talk about it, there will be times when we are tempted to do something which is bad. And if I could throw out any advice to anybody out there when it comes to the topic of temptation and the struggle which can be involved with it, is that when we are tempted to do something bad, whatever it is, we need to try to figure out what we can do to get ourselves out of that situation. Because, you know, when we are tempted to do something bad, well, we pretty much have only two options. We can say yes or no. And if we say no to something which is bad, and we try to get away from that opportunity of doing something bad, then we are going to help ourselves out. And even if it may be difficult, or even if people make fun of us, it is better to say no to a temptation to do something bad. Now, on the flip side, if we say yes to doing something which is bad, people are tempting us, or when anything else is tempting us to do something bad, then we can always face the possibility of feeling guilty. We can face the possibility of getting into trouble, depending on what bad thing you decided to go through with. And also you face the possibility of other people finding out about the bad thing you did, and more problems could ensue. When it comes to figuring out now what is considered bad and what is considered good, you know, since we all have our different interpretations of what we consider to be bad and good, what I would recommend is reading the Bible. You know, I have read the Bible, and I've definitely learned a lot from people who have preached to me when it comes to lessons from the Bible. And you know, the Bible will definitely be a great source for us when it comes to figuring out what is good and bad. Also, I would recommend talking to God, because God will definitely urge us to do the right thing, the good thing, and He does not want us to do the bad thing. Also, I would highly recommend just thinking deeply before you go through with an action, if the thing you are tempted to do is good or bad. Like, say for example, some of your friends are tempting you to join in on a night pumpkin smashing. And some people may say, oh, you know, it's just smashing pumpkins. The pumpkins are going to be thrown in the trash anyway after they're carved. So it's no big deal. But then some other people may say, and this is the view I agree with, some people may say, you know, somebody bought that pumpkin and they had fun carving it, and they want to enjoy having it out as a decoration for October and maybe November. So you shouldn't destroy something that somebody bought because it's their property. You know, we need to look at both sides of a situation which we are about to get into. And as I said, I mean, if we are tempted to do something bad, I would highly recommend saying no to that bad situation which you are tempted to join in on. If we decide to just avoid going through with a bad situation which we are being tempted to go through with, then we are going to find ourselves happier. And if there are other people who make fun of us or say bad things about us, don't worry about that. You know, people can say whatever they want to say, but when we stay out of trouble, we are helping ourselves out a lot, and we are setting a good example to other people. When we say no to bad situations and we decide to do the right thing. Now, of course, we may not go through with this perfectly. I mean, the only person who lived a perfect life on earth was Jesus Christ. You know, in our lives, though, there are going to be times when we fall into a temptation and do something bad, but, you know, that happens for all of us. However, we always have another chance to better ourselves and say no to a bad situation and avoid the temptation of doing something which is not good. So, in the end, I would highly recommend that you say no to a bad situation which you are being tempted to join in on. I would think very much about the situation you are in, and of course, say no to it if it's bad. Read the Bible, talk to God, and just remember, make smart decisions. And I think you will be very happy with your decision if you decide to avoid the temptation of doing something wrong. With that, this is all I have to talk about for this word of advice video. I certainly hope what I've had to talk about in this video will come in handy. Come back for another word of advice video.